General Powell, when somebody like Saddam Hussein or Manuel Noriega is taunting you publicly and the nation, how do you block out the noise and distraction? Because one of the things in business, in military, it's tough to block out noise, distraction. What was one of your mechanisms to do this successfully?
Never lose sight of what you're trying to accomplish. In the initial situation with Manuel Noriega in Panama, we were trying to get him to leave peacefully. And President Reagan at the time did not want to see a conflict. He was trying to get him to leave peacefully. And we couldn't pull it off. We couldn't get Manny to leave. A very complicated story. He was on the CIA payroll. It was an ugly scene. And we couldn't get him to voluntarily leave. But we were catching all kinds of hell from the press. Why don't you do something? Why are we putting up with this? Look what he's saying about us. Look how he's treating our people in Panama. But we never lost sight of our objective, which was see if we can get him to leave, and let's not do anything precipitous. Leadership, to a large extent, is all about making sure you understand what you're trying to achieve, not get panicked by the waves that come along. Don't get swept off your point. It's becoming more and more difficult in public life to follow this principle because of cable television and the internet and blogs. The news cycle, and I don't think KT will disagree with me, the news cycle and the advent of advocacy cable television is hurting our country in the following way. People who believe a certain way will only listen to and watch those channels and those programs that reinforce their belief. And so you're either MSNBC or you're Fox or pick anyone you want. And as a result, rather than watching a program on the particular channel in order to learn something new, you're having your views strengthened and reinforced. It's the way it is. It's not going to change. The nature of the television business, to a large extent, television is as much about market share and profit centers as it is about just news. And to move away from picking on cable channels, the major network channels are just the same. You turn one on today, the Today Show or any of the others, you get 7 minutes of news, and then the next thing you know, Al Roker's cooking eggs. What's this all about? So I've solved my problem by watching very little American network or cable news and watch mostly foreign channels. BBC, Al Jazeera America, Euro News, Korean news, Chinese news. I even have an Ethiopian channel, I don't know where it came from. But I just get a steady stream of news. I don't hear about the Kardashians, I don't hear about Lindsay Lohan, I don't have somebody babbling at me about some trial that's taking place somewhere. And I've had to do that to sort of preserve my ability to think through some of these things. People say, what's the solution? I have the solution, but it won't work. And that is the way it was when we were growing up. Remember? You had Severide and Cronkite and a couple others at 6 o'clock at night, maybe till 6:30, no later than 7. And then they went away because Molly Goldberg was coming on. You know, and all of the great shows are coming on, and then at 11 o'clock at night, remember? Suddenly, they play the national anthem, and you see the flags flying. And then the last scene, the last note of the national anthem, there'd be video of GIFs flying overhead. And then suddenly, test pattern would come up. This black thing, and for the rest of the night, all you would hear is, and we went to bed. You need to go to bed more now. Stop watching that.